What do you see coming in that Senate campaign for Senator Warnock?
Look, it's going to be a tough fight. And that's why you're seeing the voter suppression, not just here, but also in Arizona. Arizona and Georgia both went for Biden and elected Democratic senators. And both states have Senate elections in 2022 that are going to be critical for holding the majority for Democrats. And so here's part of what I wanted to come on the show tonight to say, Lawrence, is Democrats, we got to get in formation. Republicans are in a tailspin because of Donald Trump. However, they are in formation on voter suppression. And this is very, very dangerous. Over the next decade, in the census that just happened, multiple states, Georgia, Arizona, whites go into the minority of the population. The demographic change of this country, where whites are on track to go into the minority of population by 2045, not that far off, is accelerating in the Sun Belt. And so we have the set of dynamics going into redistricting and a census undercount and these Senate races where if we don't push back hard on voter suppression, and that means federal action this year on preclearance, on getting states like Georgia that have a racist history, and not just a history, a racist now, need to have to pre-clear their voting changes with the Department of Justice. We need automatic voter registration universally and all the changes of the For the People Act. Democrats in Congress need to get in formation, give Biden the cabinet that he needs so we can get moving. This is an existential threat to the future of our democracy, which was just attacked at the Capitol last month. So we feel incredible urgency here because the voter suppression is just a whole new level of egregious. And without federal action, we are fighting this every single way we can on the ground and with our allies around the country. But it's time to act. And it's time for Democrats nationally to understand how pressing this crisis is with 253 bills. And it's just starting. We're going to see even more over the next month.
Sorry, what about meeting this challenge at the state level, which also includes Democrats getting serious about state level campaigns for the legislature?
Absolutely. Georgia, Texas, Arizona have all made tremendous gains in the state legislature. Overall, we're about 14 seats from the majority here in the state house and a little further behind in the state Senate. But we're within striking distance. But here's the problem. Trump undermined the census dramatically. So we had an undercount of racial minorities in this country. We'll see. We don't have the numbers yet. It's all delayed because of what Trump did. And then we're going to go into redistricting. It's going to be late. And so the Republican Party controls the machinery of redistricting in Georgia and many other battleground states. They're going to do partisan and racial gerrymandering and draw themselves their majorities for the next decade. And that means we have to have 10-year plans on our side of the aisle. That's why Stacey and I wrote that op-ed. Stacey Abrams and I met each other about 10 years ago and started charting a 10-year path. And we really built that on state legislative gains, which we have made since we met 10 years ago. But that's what we're going to have to do across the Sun Belt, where our population is growing and becoming more diverse. And that's what we're going to need to look at in my home state of Ohio and other tough states. What down ballot and local gains can we make? And then celebrate the victories. And sometimes victories are losing by less. Texas made gains in the legislature. They didn't win a majority like they wanted to, but they did cut their margin statewide and demonstrate that progress. And so this is going to be a tough decade. We've got a lot of headwinds, but we need to fight these battles at the state level and push our federal delegations to take action on voting.
Lauren Groh-Wargo, you are guiding us on what I think is the most important political story of our time, which is the preservation of democracy and what that means in our elections. Thank you very much for joining us again tonight.
Thanks for having me.